Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com. This is a video response to my friend Israel Pachecho. As always, he does these open tag Mondays where he spits out a topic, asks for comments and video responses and, answers and such. So, sadly, I didn't see the video until now, which is Wednesday. So that's when I'm doing my video. Usually I try and do it the same day. For some reason I missed it. It's probably Israel's fault for putting it up Sunday. So anyway, because he said he was watching E3 on Monday. So, here's my video response. His question was, what is your backlog in terms of, what you want to play that you haven't beaten? So, this is a pretty big one for me. I tend to play games partially, get kind of bored, and then buy new things and then play through them to a degree. So, there's games that I just have not beaten that I'm either a quarter done, half done, an hour in, 10 minutes, never started, a bunch of those. So I have some on my list that I haven't even got yet, but that are coming in the mail. So I'll tell you which and why. First and foremost, I want to play more of, I've only done the first main mission in Army of Two 40th Day. I'm not a huge fan of them getting rid of or giving a backseat role to Salem and Rios from the other two games, but the thing is, one of my best friends who used to play through every game with me over and over and over on all the difficulty settings and stuff and online, he moved. He's in college in St. Kitts to be a veterinarian. So I don't have him there, so I've been breaking his brother's balls to sit down and play with me. So we've played it a couple times, and it's really good, but we haven't gotten far in it at all. So that's one of them. Another one is Sega Gaga on the Dreamcast. I got that. My video went up earlier today, if you've seen it. And it's all in Japanese. It's got a lot of humor, and it's like a turn-based RPG with some really quirky Japanese humor, where you are trying to build up some kind of team and do things within Sega's company and fight some other company that's supposed to be Sony. It's in Japanese, like I said, so I need to use a walkthrough. So that's another reason I didn't go back to that one. Same thing with Rent-A-Hero. It's like a quirky Sega title. I have a video coming down the pipeline that's going to be up, I think within the next month or something that I did. Just doing a little mini impressions video on that. That's like you're a superhero, this teenager who turns into a superhero, and you have to fight crimes and do different tasks. Again, it's all in Japanese, so I'm having to use a walkthrough, which seems to be the precedent I've been setting lately for myself. Another one is Zombie Revenge on Dreamcast. My friend Brian Fury, the one who I said my other friend's brother, that's Brian. Brian's the brother. He played it with me. We got pretty far and we died. So I found a save file on the internet that gives me unlimited continues, because I want to really play through the game and have a good time and not have to worry about dying and starting from scratch. So that's another one. Rez on the Sega Dreamcast, which my video went up about a week or two ago, where you have to fly around and shoot things. But this techno music and wireframe looking animations. Dead Space, the original Dead Space. People are going to yell at me for that. My friend Mike is a huge fan. It's one of his favorite titles. So he said, you got to play this, and he bought me a copy. And I just now am getting to it after 6 months. I started it. I'm on Act 3 or 4. I'm really enjoying it. But the game I'm playing now has kind of jumped ahead of it a little bit, so I haven't gotten back to Dead Space. So Dead Space is another one that I'm hoping to get back to soon. I want to get back into, years ago I played Elemental Gimmicky or Egg on the Dreamcast. It's like a isometric turn-based RPG. Really weird, kind of a quirky setting. Sort of like a dystopian future robot type thing. I played it years ago, I remember enjoying it, and I always wanted to replay that, so that's one I want to get back into. I just got, in a Dreamcast bundle, Nightmare Creatures 2, and I always enjoyed the first game on the PlayStation, even though it didn't age very well. It was also on the PC. I remember as a kid, with my first computer, downloading it over and over and playing the demo. So I want to play Nightmare Creatures 2, even though I hear it's terrible, just to check it out. So that one might not be on my backlist once I play it. Hell, a cyberpunk thriller on 3DO, and I believe it was on a couple others, maybe PC or something. That's a point-and-click adventure game that's all full motion video with Dennis Hopper's voice and all these. It's like a cyberpunk game, but in the future with this kind of dark setting where you have to travel to hell. It's very, very slow, and there's a ton of talking. I don't think there's any action or fighting, So that's what's kind of like keeping me from going back to that one. But it's an interesting looking title. Check that out. Another one is Metal Gear Solid, the HD collection on the Vita. I had said in the past that I've played 3 a little bit on the Xbox 360, but I never went back to it. So now I'm starting 2, which is the one with Raiden, and now I'm going to go into 3 after I beat 2. I like the Metal Gear series, but the cutscenes are just so long-winded, and the game is so slow for me. The humor is kind of funny. I like the weird humor and stuff, but I just can't keep interested in it. So anytime I start it, I have a good time. Then I stop and I don't go back to it for months. So that's something I have to definitely go back to. And then a few more that I haven't received yet in the mail that I hope to get soon for my Saturn are Walking Rotor, which is a Japanese turn-based cyber or steampunk RPG. Cyber Doll, which is a cyberpunk RPG, Japanese again, on the Saturn, and it's turn-based, but it's like a side-by-side kind of turn-based. So you have to like move forward and backwards you go in your turn and like you aim where you want to shoot, kind of like Fallout 3 in that regard. I want to play Nights into Dreams. I got that, but I haven't gotten my Pro Action Replay yet to play the imports. Another one is called Fourth Apocalypse Tengai Mayao. That's like a post-apocalyptic, like lunar type game. Again, it's Japanese. And Magic Knight Ray Earth, which I got the Japanese version because it was like $6. That's like a girly Japanese RPG that I used to see alongside Albert Odyssey, which I also ordered. That's was always in magazines as a kid. I'd always see these games and be like, wow, it looks so fucking cool, but I never had a Saturn. So now that I have one, and I'm importing all the Japanese games because they're like $5 each instead of paying like 30, 40, 50, and hundreds for an American title. I'd rather use a walkthrough and spend $5 instead. And finally, the one I'm playing now that I want to beat first is Police Knots on the 3DO. Police Knots is a spiritual sequel or some kind of sequel to Snatcher on the Sega CD, MSX, and I believe PC Engine. Snatcher was a adventure title / visual novel with some shooting elements. Same thing goes for Police Knots, except this was never officially translated. It only got a fan translation, which you can play, I believe, on the PC, or you can patch and then play on, I think, the PS1. I don't really have the means to do that, so I've been playing it on the 3DO in Japanese using a walkthrough. So far, so good. I'm getting the gist of the story, and with the walkthrough helping me, I'm having a good time. So I know you lose something in terms of playing it in Japanese, but I really wanted to play it in its original format. Maybe one day it'll get translated and I'll play it again. So I'm about a quarter through that. So Police Knots is the first on my list, with Dead Space not too far behind. So that's my huge list of titles that I want to go back and play. I don't think any of them are current gen besides Dead Space and Army of Two, the 40th day, which is kind of funny. Shows you where my head's at. As I said during my little Xbox One rant, while watching the Xbox One rant, I was looking up Sega Saturns. So it shows you that I'm really not looking at anything too forward to next gen. Even though D4 looks interesting, even though Swery wrote back to me on Twitter and told me it has nothing to do with the Kenji Eno D series, and the Mad Max game looks cool, but I'm not going to buy those for those two games. So, Israel, thanks, buddy, for the question, as always, and thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from SegaCDUniverse.com. Be good. Podcast.